We just gotta wait now until it goes little, and then I get another one of those. Oh, we're live.
Hello, this is George.
Hey, Bonnie.
And this is Adonai Sanctuary Truth Classroom. It's October 7th. Mm-hmm. And tonight we're going to be talking, well, my sweetie already told you that we have something else different planned for tonight. This last week, we studied from chapter 13 through 19, and they all talk about the dividing of Adonai's land, lot by lot, and what their boundaries were. We'll hit some of those. Now we are going to hit a few high points that can help with some knowledge of what happened and the revelation of Adonai's promises to Israel. You about ready?
Yep.
I don't have my marker. Give me that one. Thank you. If you want to study Joshua 13 through 19 yourself, you will find where 5 of those tribes of Israel settled.
Hey, Ann. Her meeting got canceled.
Oh.
Must have needed to be here.
No roadkill? And if you're like us, you may think that must be all of the dividing. No.
Be surprised.
Not really. And we go to Yehoshua. Remember, we said go from 13 to 19 on your own study. And we're going to hit a few of the highlights. My sweetie's going to read Yehoshua 18, 1 and 2.
The entire community of the people of Israel assembled themselves together at Shiloh and set up the tent of meetings there. After the land had been subdued before them, there still remained among the people of Israel 7 tribes that had not yet received their inheritance.
What? 13 through 17 and, well, after all that reading, we find out there are still 7 tribes not in their inherited land yet. Section or chapter 18 talks about Benjamin inheritance. The first lot. The start of Jehoshua 19 is interesting. The second lot was to Simeon. All right. My sweetie's going to read Jehoshua 19:1.
The second lot came out for Simeon, for the tribe of the descendants of Simeon according to their families. Their inheritance was inside the inheritance of the descendants of Judah.
I said it was interesting. The second lot was Simeon. Simeon's inheritance ended up in the middle of Judah's inheritance. Why? Well, we have to go to 19:9 to find that out.
The inheritance of the descendants of Simeon was taken out of the allotment of the descendants of Judah because the portion given to the descendants of Judah was too much for them. So the descendants of Simeon had an inheritance inside the descendants of Judah.
Judah's area was too large. So Simeon's tribe was to help with that. Interesting. Nobody ever said anything like that to me before.
No.
The third lot went northward, and the land went to Zebulun. The fourth lot is to Issachar, bordering Zebulun. The fifth lot to Asher, and it went to the Great Sea north to Litani River. bordering both Zebulun and Naphtali. I know we're throwing a bunch of names and areas out, but these are just the lots. The sixth lot, remember they still had 7 to do.
Mm-hmm.
The sixth lot to Naphtali, north of Zebulun and yet Issachar, and between Asher and the Jordan, with the half-tribe of Manasseh. I know these are kind of confusing, but you'll get them. The 7th lot, now remember, there's 7 of them that didn't have any lots yet. The 7th lot went to Dan. Now Dan said, well, read 1947, please.
The territory of the descendants of Dan was too small for them. So the descendants of Dan went up, fought against Leshem, captured it, defeated it by the sword, took possession of it, and lived there, calling Leshem Dan, after Dan, their ancestor. That was pretty clear.
Unlike Judah, this area is too small for us. So we went after more land by force with the area of Leshem. That was also, we thought it was kind of interesting. They weren't satisfied. So they went after more land. And yet Yehuda, got too much land for them to take care of.
Yeah, not weird.
Now, we skipped over those real quickly because in all reality, you can read them yourself and see if you can keep them all straightened out. But if you are not satisfied with our study, you can go over each one of the 12 tribes, what their inheritance was, from 13 through 19, and try to get out of those chapters more than the highlights we just brought out. Now, here's another interesting section, or chapter. My sweetie's going to read Joshua 20, 1 through 3.
Adonai said to Joshua, "Tell the people of Israel, select the cities of refuge about which I spoke to you through Moses, so that anyone who kills someone by mistake and unknowingly may escape there. They will serve as refugees for you from the next of kin avenger."
If you kill anyone accidentally, and even has to be unintentionally, they can take refuge from the next of kin. And the next of kin may be trying to avenge the death of their loved one. But that's not the whole story or the whole true statement. That's not the whole true statement. My sweetie's going to read 20, verse 4.
He is to flee to one of those cities, stand at the entrance to the city gate, and state his cause to the city leaders. Then they will bring him into the city with them and give him a place so that he may live among them.
Yes, he can live there. But my sweetie's going to read verse 5.
If the next of kin avenger pursues him, they are not allowed pursue him. They are not to hand over the killer to him, because he struck his fellow community member unknowingly and had not hated him previously. I like that last line.
If the killer didn't hate him or have a scheme to attack him for death, the city is not to hand him over to the next of kin so they can kill him. But it's not a permanent escape either. My sweetie's going to read verse 6.
So he will live in that city until he stands trial before the community, until the death of the Kohen Haggadol, who is in office at the time. When that occurs, the killer may return to his own city and his own house. to the city from which he fled.
Live there until he stands trial for killing that person accidentally. The cities were to have the Levites in charge.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said, right? Mm-hmm. If he is found not to have killed on purpose, he is to be allowed to go back home. Read 7 through 9, please.
So they set apart Kadesh in the Galilee, in the hills of Naphtali, Shechem in the hills of Ephraim, and Kiryat Arba, which is Hebron, in the hills of Judah. Beyond the Jordan, east of Jericho, they selected Betzer in the desert on the plateau out of the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. These were the cities selected for all the people of Israel and for the foreigners living among them, so that anyone who kills any person by mistake could flee there and not die at the hand of the next of kin avenger prior to standing trial before the community.
Oh, these are just the highlights, and see how much reading there was about that.
Yeah.
They have 6 cities, but what did Numbers 35:6 say? Read 35:6, please.
The cities you give to the Levites are to be the 6 cities of refuge to which permit a person who kills someone to flee to, plus additional 42 cities.
6 of the 48 cities were to be of refuge. Numbers 35:11 through 28. The one who kills gets the idea he can leave before the trial. Now, if he gets the idea he can get out of there, or knows he will be found guilty, runs from that city of refuge, then he can be killed by the next of kin. That was interesting.
It's amazing it was back in Numbers.
It was always back in Numbers, but yet, I'm not saying it repeats itself, but people have to understand that you might have to be told more than once. We haven't figured this next part out yet, though. But it states, until the high priest dies. That was...
So it says back in Numbers, or Joshua 26, 20 verse 6. Until the death of the Kohen. Yes.
The high priest dies. Then he can go back home. If the high priest dies when he's in the city, whether he's had trial or not. Those special cities were for the individuals who were mainly waiting for a trial. Protection from the next of kin until trial. They try to make a big deal out of a lot of those things. Now, we're going to go to chapter 21. The Levites went to Eleazar the priest, Jehoshua, and all the tribal leaders at Shiloh in Canaan, and stated, read 21, 1 and 2, please.
Then the leaders of the ancestral clans of the Levites approached Eleazar the Kohen, Joshua the son of Nun, and the leaders of the ancestral tribes of the people of Israel. It was at Shiloh in the land of Canaan that they spoke to them, and they said, Adonai ordered through Moses that we be given cities to live in, with a surrounding open land for our livestock.
Give the Levites land. Now my sweetie's going to go back to Numbers 35, 2 and 3.
Order the people of Israel to give to the Levites cities to live in from the heritage they will possess. And you are also to give to the Levites some of the open land surrounding the cities. 2 and 3. They are to have the cities to live in, while their open lands will be for their livestock, for growing crops, and for their animals.
So to Yahushua and the tribal leaders, where she just read before, they are repeating what Adonai had already told them. Read 21:3, please.
So out of their inheritance, the people of Israel gave the Levites the following cities with the surrounding open land.
Out of their inheritance, out of their land, they gave to the Levites. Now comes the clearing of this priestly bloodline. To my knowledge, we have never been explained. To my knowledge, we have never been explained the connection before. Even when my sweetie read it when we were going over, she says, I never saw that. But we will now. Read 21:4, please.
The lot came out of the family of the Kahati, the descendants of Aaron the Kohen, who were of the Levites, received by lot 13 cities from the tribes of Judah, Simon, and Benjamin.
Did you catch that? The Levi clan out of Kahati. The ones who were my sweetie's going to read Numbers 4:15 to find out what these Kahati clan was supposed to do. 4:15, please.
When Aaron and his sons had finished covering the holy furnishings and all the holy utensils, when the camp was about to move forward, then the descendants of Kehat are to come and carry them. But they are not to touch the holy things, so that they won't die. These things are the responsibility of descendants of Kehat in the tent of meeting.
The Kahati, or the Kahat clan, is to carry the holy things.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't even touch them.
It says.
Now it states, well, read 21:4 again, please. Remember.
The lot came out of the families of the Kahati, the descendants of Aaron the Kohen, who were of the Levites, received by lot 13 cities from the tribes of Judah, Simon, and Benjamin.
What is that telling you? Come on, think about it. Back there in Numbers 4:15, they were to only carry the holy things. They weren't priests. Now she just read the descendants of Aaron. The only way that could have humanly happened would be that clan of Kahat, or Kahati, must have married the women from the tribe of Aaron's son.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the ones who married into Aaron's clan would be classified Aaron, the Kohen descendants. So through them came the Levitical priesthood.
Wow. A lot. We never saw that before.
In reality, we have been waiting for the scripture to answer the question of where did the statement, the Levitical priesthood, originate from. Yahushua 21:1-4 seems to clear that up. If you use scripture for clarification. Remember, back in Numbers, they were just to carry it. Now, they're in the Levitical priesthood. The rest of the cities of refuge can be read from Joshua 21, and if you want to read the whole thing, you can go from 5 through 38. In the complete Jewish Bible, or Yehoshua 21:5-40 in a lot of other translated Bibles. Excuse me. Or Joshua 21:5-40 in a lot of other translated Bibles. If you want to learn the names of all those cities, you can read those verses yourself. We have already went over a huge amount of verses that really, unless you're really concentrating on a certain section, I would venture to say you wouldn't remember maybe 2 of them at the very most.
There's a lot.
Because there's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not trying to skim over it. It's just that we're hitting the high points, or the high parts that we believe Adonai wants you to understand. My sweetie's going to read Jehoshua 21, 39 and 40.
All the cities of the Levites, 48 cities with their surrounding open land, are to be among the lands possessed by the people of Israel. These cities, each with its surrounding open land, thus it is to be with all these cities.
In the land that Adonai is giving them, the pasture land and the cities are among the land Adonai has given to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
All 48 cities in all. At least I shouldn't have said all 48. 48 cities in all. My sweetie's going to read 21:41.
So Adonai gave Israel all the land which he swore to give them to their ancestors, and they took possession of it and lived in it.
All the land that he swore would be theirs is finally accomplished and occupied by Israel. Read 42 and 43, please.
Then Adonai gave them rest all around, according to everything he had sworn to their ancestors. Not a man from all their enemies stood against them. Adonai handed all their enemies over to them. Not one good thing that Adonai had spoken to the household of Israel failed to happen. It all took place.
In other words, he gave them rest. The exclamation point or mark is stated in "it was accomplished." You read that, right?
Yeah.
Everything. All that he stated happened.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happens? The fighting is over. And Israel has Adonai's land. Finally. And we'll get into chapter 22 next time. I'm pretty sure we'll get into chapter 22. I got one more little reading. If you were peeking in last week, you might have heard this, but I think today is a good time to read this. This is what we see, and now know that each person will walk with their God. See, every person walks with their own God. But those who only want truth will walk with Adonai, the God, forever. There's another little read. This is for the people of today. People, you have been told what is good. Adonai has told you the truth. Act with grace. Be just. And people, walk with Adonai, the only pure God we have. Have a great week. I know it's kind of, maybe we didn't have every little word from 13 through 19, but we thought that maybe we wouldn't keep it in line if we went and you people would read it and forget it as fast as we read it anyway. We did. But we're trying to hit the high points of what that 13 through 19. I'm hoping from now on. See, we're learning too.
Oh yeah, every week.
And when we study, it's amazing what Adonai shows. And you don't have to buy a special Bible. You can use your own Bible. Mm-hmm. I don't care which one you use. Most of them have the right stuff in there most of the time. Or you might have to read between the lines in a couple of them because they kind of transliterated. In other words, they used words that they wanted to make up. You have a good week.
See you next Tuesday.
Share.